the only way to sort your thoughts out is to really turn off everything and not be distracted and be away from your friends and your boyfriend and your girlfriend and your parents. And as an artist, you're faced with questions. What are you going to give the world? And not what are you going to get? I think it's very important. When I left photography, I was at the top of the world. I had contracts with major magazines and, making lots of money and stuff, but that was never what really was my goal in life. My goal was to take really beautiful pictures. I always wanted a place. When I was living in New York in the East Village, I always dreamt of having a little cabin in the woods because that's where I really felt myself. And then later I came to Maui, when I was sort of had said what I could say in fashion and portraiture. Really thought I was done with photography a decade ago. And then, got other plans for me. The life of an artist is very different from being a doctor or lawyer. And I was young and I was showing in galleries, but I couldn't make a living off of it, right? I could have stayed banging on those gallery doors, but then there was another door down the hall. Interview was such an important magazine about culture, and I jumped at the chance, and that led to a 20-year career in magazines. So there's always been the celebrated people, whether that's been kings or the aristocracy, the entertainers and politicians and things like that. Celebrated people have always been sort of godlike to people, whether it's the Beatles or Elvis. You see the same emotions when people would cry for the Beatles that you do when people would have a vision of the Virgin Mary. Says it's sort of the same well of tears that they're coming from, Growing up in the Catholic Church, I was exposed to metaphysical ideas of transcendence, an idea of, mind, body, and spirit. So trying to photograph spirit and trying to photograph enlightenment and that staying in the light and things of that nature. I love the idea of forgiveness. I love the ideas, where you'd see John the Baptist pouring the water, or the woman anointing Jesus' feet with oil, the representation, the Pietà, the representation of greatest loss, which is a mother losing a child. I've used that many times in my pictures as that symbol, greatest loss. And I'm not looking through books or magazines or the internet for inspiration. I don't think that's the place to find it. I think going within, being alone in nature, and the realm of the miraculous, or the realm of just being open to not everything's coming from my brain, that I'm open to catching ideas, and that's something that's been affirmed to me throughout my life. When you open yourself up to that idea, the realm of magical, or the realm of possibility, and having faith, and you allow for things that are sometimes miracles, or sometimes it's a sort of synchronicity, and that's what I find when I'm out here in Maui. I really find life questions get answered when you have solitude, when you have time to think about things and introspect and contemplate. And you've got to give yourself that time and turn off all the noise, and that's super important. I think we understand our place in the world a little bit better when we are confronted with the elements. We're confronted with giant oceans and the vastness of the jungle, and that's pretty much the closest we can get to the idea of spirit or soul.